Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be going to one of the biggest fish stores I've been to. Actually, it is the biggest fish store I've been to, and I've been to a lot of fish stores. This place is massive. Tanks everywhere. There's probably like 400 tanks, I swear. There's so many, and that's just half the store. The other half is all reptiles, which I'm not even going to venture into today. But I'm going to go ahead and drive there. It's going to be like an hour and a half away, and I'm obviously going to pick up a whole bunch of fish. You'll see that at the end of this video. But this store is massive. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half away. They have freshwater, saltwater, and then, like I mentioned, reptiles. The store is very, very big. There's an entire back freshwater wall. There's a whole bunch of saltwater stuff. There's coral. It's going to be a very, very interesting video. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and spare you the 1.5 hour drive. I'm just going to throw you right over to some footage from the store, and then I'll go ahead and show you some of the stuff I bought. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you some of the individual things. So you just saw were some small angelfish, and then now we're getting into the plant section. So there was tons of plants, all different prices, as you can see. Then we went into the cichlid section, tons of cichlids. I'm not really into cichlids, so you know, here's some cichlids. Now we go onto the large freshwater wall, and I'm going to go ahead and just show you some of the exotic fish they had there. So there was a whole bunch of arowanas, which were cool to see, because like where I live, I've never seen an arowana in a fish store, but this store had a whole bunch of them. And then this is all like the exotic section, so there's some cichlids, there's some puffers, there's some Oscars right here, some knife fish, more cichlid looking things on the end, and then there's even a large African lungfish right there. Next up, we have some exotic discus. These guys are dope. And then we go into the pond section. Got some big red ear sliders and some koi fish. Lots of koi fish, big koi fish. Really, really cool. Now into the saltwater section, there's a large display tank, as you can see right here. Nothing's really for sale here. It's just a display. Another display tank right here to the left of where you walk in the door. Full sump setup and everything. Next up is the coral. There's so much coral here, you have no idea. All of their corals for sale, and their coral selling tanks, obviously. It ranges from $10 to literally like $250. There's so many pieces of coral. And now into the saltwater fish section. Tons of colorful fish. This guy right here was honestly probably my favorite. This angelfish here was dope also. And then just a whole bunch of misc stuff like shrimp, snails, whatever. There's here and kind of equipment in general, and then that nice tank in the wall. I'm obviously back, as you can see by the bags right here. I'm just gonna go through everything I bought. So most of the stuff actually isn't for me. This right here is a freshwater zebra, zigzag, something. I don't know, it's a small bottom feeder. It's not for me, but thought I'd show them here anyway. 2 African dwarf frogs. These are also not for me. A glowfish red tetra to add to another school of tetras, also not mine. Then into my stuff, we have a Melanie Wrasse. I've wanted one of these guys for a while, and they had one in stock, so I went ahead and grabbed him real fast. He'll look great when he's in the saltwater tank. And then we got 2 corals. There's an LPS coral, and then this guy right here is a flower pot coral. So I'm going to go ahead and start acclimating these into the reef tank. I'm going to skip acclimation because it's a pretty simple process. Everyone has seen floating a bag in a tank. But I'm going to go ahead and get these guys acclimating, and I'll show you what they look like in the tank. Never mind. This is pretty important. Acclimation's important. So basically we have the fish floating. That is that Melanie Wrasse. He's a little bit discolored right now. He's a lot less vibrant than he normally was, and he's in the corner now. But he's float acclimating, and then I'm basically just putting a little bit of my water in his water every like 10 minutes. And then the coral are drip acclimating. I'm gonna go ahead and dip these coral right after this, and I'm gonna dip them in some reef dip that kills off parasites, and then we can go ahead and place them in the tank. And just like that, Melanie Wrasse goes right into the tank. He's an absolute stunner. Of course, colors are washed out now, but once he colors up, he's gonna be a really, really cool fish. He already looks really, really nice. They're a little bit different than a 6-line wrasse, which I've had 6-line wrasses in the past. However, I like the color of this guy more, and I've been looking for one for a while, and I finally found one, so I literally bought him the second I walked in the store. But he's an absolute dope fish. Okay, so the coral right here are done acclimating. I'm just gonna put him in the coral dip real fast. Now these guys will sit in the coral dip, make sure he's right side up, for like 15 minutes, and then we'll put them in the tank. So it is the next day, and the tank is doing really good. This coral right here in the front, that guy is opening up a little bit. And then for some reason, this one right here, of course the color is super washed out, but that one hasn't opened up either. Opened up last night, but it's not open today for some reason. And then there's the wrasse right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some food. Just take a little piece of frozen food. This is just frozen mysis. And And as this dissolves in the water, the fish obviously go ahead and eat it. Like, that's what fish food is. The shrimp obviously is trying to come get food as well. Yes, you can't really see it right now, but he's actually munching as well. He's eating the mysis, or maybe it's brine shrimp. I don't even know which one it is, but he's loving it. So that's nice that he's already eating. If a fish eats within like 24 hours, the fish is basically almost deemed healthy, which is really, really good, because that's one of the biggest struggles with fish sometimes, is getting them to eat. But this guy's eating really, really well, so that is good. That's pretty much it for the reef tank. All the fish and coral are doing great, except for this guy right here. I'm hoping he'll go ahead and perk up in the next day or two. Also, I'm currently actually making some RODI water right here to do a water change on the saltwater tank. If you're interested in my whole saltwater mixing container setup, I actually have a video on it. It's my Spectra Pure RODI system review. Go ahead and check that video out if you want to learn about my mixing station.
2 days later.
Guess who's back literally 2 days later with more coral? That's right, me. So I took a trip to my local fish store this time, or a local pet store, I guess, and I got 3 new pieces of coral, all for super, super cheap because they're small. Got a tiny mushroom, a little piece of, I think it was a Kenya tree, and then another tiny soft coral. These are all super tiny frags that will eventually grow into something like this. So that is a green mushroom I have. The other one I got is a red mushroom. It's the exact same thing, except it's a bright orange and red rather than a green. It'll add some nice more color to the tank. By the way, the wrasse right there, as you can see, is doing amazing. This coral is doing meh. And this coral died. The flower pot coral just died. Kind of sucks. $20 gone, but whatever. Now, while these new coral are acclimating right here, just floating for now, then we'll drip acclimate, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the turtle. This guy's always hyped to eat. I mean, he tries to swim in the wall. He doesn't know it doesn't get him anywhere. But we'll go ahead and grab him some pellets, and then I'll get him some lettuce later today. Hey, the food's literally right here. Good job, you got it. So he's great. He's doing really good, in case anybody was wondering. The plankton tank is also doing a little bit better. If you remember, I had an algae problem in here, which we still kind of have. There's this weird fuzz algae on these leaves. Now, I added a Siamese algae eater in here. He is right there, and they specialize in eating that kind of algae, so I'm just gonna kind of let him do his thing, you know, just be a good little algae eater. The moss has taken off a ton, like you can see right there. The moss is thriving, and then one of our plants floated. I gotta fix that guy, but overall this tank's doing really nice. A quick another thing I need to say about my 55-gallon freshwater tank is that the stuff in here is getting huge. This parrot cichlid is getting massive. He's probably a good maybe 3 inches right now. He'll obviously get so much bigger, but when I bought him, he was like that big. I got him at Walmart for like $2 because he was labeled the wrong thing, but he's super feisty, super aggressive. Luckily, he does good with all these tropical fish, but when it comes to feeding time, he's an absolute beast. The kitchen tank is looking a little bit dirty. Need to get some algae stuff under control here. Just need to scrape the algae, nothing crazy. But the fish in here are doing really, really nice. And the plant back there, that Java fern, is getting massive. The koi pond is doing very, very well. While we're out here, we can go ahead and check on the ducks in a sec. But these elephant ear plants, like you can see, are massive. I think because there's just so much nutrients in this water from the fish load. As you can see, we have a lot of koi fish down here, that these plants are just sucking out all that nutrients, making the water super, super clean, and then growing a ton at the same time. But the koi fish have grown so much, they're sticking to the bottom right now, but they're doing really, really well. I also am gonna need to move the big pleco out of here very soon, because it is kind of coming into winter, and that pleco cannot stay out here when it gets cold. And last but not least, the ducks. So they got some berries, they ate them all, they pooped everywhere, and they knocked over the 2 plants that were sitting there. So these guys are overall just really having a great time ruining everything. Also, they only seem to poop in one spot of the chicken coop, so that side over there is nice and clean, but this side is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting! But they're doing pretty good. I mean, they're nice little ducks, they're happy, they're doing their duck thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. They're doing really, really good as well. And then way far over there is the Platy breeding tank. They're also doing good, but you can't see them right now because the water's green. Look at what you guys did. You guys killed literally all the plants. Bad duck, bad. Or you don't try to bite me. Stop trying to bite me! Stop it.
The next day.
The lights in the reef tank are just about to come on. It is the next day and the coral are beginning to open up. So everything here, with the new coral at least, is doing really, really well. Now that is going to be just about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the coral, fish, just everything that store had to offer. Like I mentioned, it was really dope. There was a ton of stuff, just so much stuff I couldn't even get through it all in like the 2 hours I was there. I tried to film as much as I could, but it was just so chaotic. There were so many people there because it's a really popular store. But that is going to be it for this video. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.